Hey, this is Mr. Dempsey, and there's a really good chance that while I'm talking to you right now, I'm going to probably be umming and ahhing. You know what? It doesn't matter in this day and age of the jump cut on vlogs. For some reason, people are okay with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to take these ums and ahs out to make a more cohesive, concise video. And we're going to put a little zoom on that. And I'm going to show you how to do that using a nested sequence. So let's take a look at how to take out some of these ums and ahs in our talking here. We're going to do this by going through and looking for the ums and ahs, and then we're just going to cut everywhere we want to take something out. So I'm going to zoom in so I can see this better. And you can see that I'm doing that by clicking here to extend that. I'm clicking here to actually zoom in and see those things. So I'm going to start this right there. And I know that everything before this I don't need. I'm going to hit C on the keyboard. Before I do that, I'm going to turn on my linked selection. So when I hit C, I get the top, the audio and the video. So I hit V, go back to this, delete it, and now hit that empty space, delete, and that comes back there. Hey, this is Mr. Dempsey, and there's a really good chance that while I'm talking to you right now. Here we go. You can see it right here. I've got a gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to come here, click there. I'm going to hit A, and then I'm just going to drag that over. And what A does is it selects everything from this point to the right. So let's hear that. Right now, I'm going to. Okay. Probably be. Got another point here. I want to take this out, trim that, hit A, drag that over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, cut out. I'm going to probably be umming and ahhing. I'm going to go and take any of those out, and you can see that there are a good many of them here. So I'm going to go and take those out, and we'll be back. All right, so now that I've got those, I can go back and look at that, and I'm going to definitely have jump cuts in there. And you can see if I play from right here, for some reason, we've got jump cuts, and the world is apparently okay with that thanks to the takeover of vlogging through YouTube. I'm going to say that in this class, the only time I'm okay with a jump cut is if you are doing a vlog assignment. I do not want to see a jump cut in a news story ever because you should have B-roll. I do not want to see a jump cut in a creative video unless there's a very specific reason for it that is discussed with me beforehand. But if you're doing a vlog, or in this case an instructional video, and you need to have a jump cut in there just to cut out some of those slowdowns and pacing, that's going to be acceptable. Now, one thing that I do want to do though is add a zoom to this, kind of get a slow zoom in that's going to end up here more towards the face. And I could do that by going into each individual clip, going to effect controls and adjusting everything there. But I don't want to do that. I want to make this happen from the beginning to the end of the video. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to highlight all of these. I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to turn on a nested sequence. And I'll just leave it as nested sequence 3. But a nested sequence is going to make all of those one clip. And you see now all the edits are gone. You're still going to see the jump cuts in the video. If I were to play that, you would still see those, but that's okay. In this case, we're going to live with that. But if I double click, you can see I can go back in here and I can make the changes to each individual thing. If I need to, I'm not going to do that in this case because I've got it trimmed down to what I want it to be. So I do want it to slow zoom in from here to the end of the video. So we're going to do something called keyframing, and we've talked about this. You keyframed when you did your title that you did a motion blur on. In this case, we're not going to add motion blur. This is going to be so slow that we wouldn't see the blur anyway, but I'm going to click on this one time. Again, if I double click, it opens the original sequence, but I'm just going to click on it one time. I'm then going to go up to motion in the effect controls, and I am going to set keyframes for position, where the video is, and scale, how big the video is. And I am going to change that over time. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to come to the end of the video, and I'm going to scale in. So I'm going to grab and come to the right. Now, let's see, this is going to be, you know, about 25 seconds. So if I go from 100% scale, which is regular size, to 115% scale, I have increased it by 15%, but I am increasing it by 15% over the course of about 25 seconds. So that may not be super slow. You can see it pretty obviously when we click and drag, but it's not going to be as percepted when we are watching it. And let's see if I can find where that keyframe is. It's hard to tell sometimes, so I like to make sure that I zoom in down here. So there we go. And you can see that there's a blue dot that tells me that we are actually on this keyframe. And now I'm going to actually adjust the position a little bit. I don't want it to cut off my head, so I'm going to kind of come down just a little bit with that. So now, over time, you can see that it is going to make this motion. I'm going to hit spacebar so we can see that. Hey, this is Mr. Dempsey, and there's a really good chance that while I'm talking to you right now, I'm going to probably be umming and ahhing. You know what? Okay, so there we go. We got a little bit of motion on there, and you can see that it's going to continue. It is not a lot of motion. It's not very jarring, and that's okay because I wanted it to be smooth like that. If I wanted it to be faster, I could actually make the distance between those two keyframes a lot shorter, hey, this is Mr. Dempsey, and then it would zoom in like that. But that's not what I want to do either. The shorter it is, the faster that zoom is going to be, and you can tell that that looks pretty bad. So I'm going to bring this down here towards the end. Now, one thing I do want to show you is when we get to this point, it's not that bad in a video like this, but a lot of times I like to highlight the keyframes. And when I'm going into a keyframe, I like to right-click temporal interpolation and ease into the keyframe. And that's kind of like putting brakes on before we get there. We don't want to just slam on the brakes when we get to the keyframe. Easing in allows us to kind of slow down a little bit before we get there. The other side of that, though, I'm going to highlight these and I'm going to ease out. That's like slowly pressing the gas to take off from the red light, as opposed to just putting it, you know, pedal to the metal. So that is going to allow for this to be a lot smoother. So hey, this is Mr. Dempsey, what we've got here now is a nice, smooth zoom in. We've still got our jump cuts in there, but we're going to live with that for this video. So nested sequences are hugely beneficial. They allow you to take groups of clips and make them one so that you could add an effect to that. Or in this case, we're going to add the motion keyframing to animate the entire clip. I honestly, I nest sequences in almost every project because there are some effects that only work on nested sequences. So you'll just have to get in there and kind of play around with it. I wanted you mostly to know that nesting is an option. So there you go.